Three, two, one. All right, everybody here. I am with Coach Alex. Coach Alex, can I get your full name and background, please?
My name is Alex Anoushian. My background in Muay Thai started when I was about 18 years old at Sit Yatong Camp in Los Angeles with crew Walter Mikulowski. Went to Thailand the first time around 2004. Trained there, and kind of that trip. I went there early on in my Muay Thai training. I think it was like a few months in. And I think that kind of changed the whole trajectory of my career in the sport, or my time in the sport.
How was that transition from growing up in LA to all the way in Thailand? Like, what was the culture shock like? What was the training like? I imagine this is back in the early 2000s, 90s, late 90s?
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s?
I don't remember much of a culture shock. I think for me it was more, I'll take that back. I guess the culture shock going there and just kind of realizing, whoa, like these guys live at the gym and like train full time. They don't have to go to work. This is their work. I was like, wow, like I want to do that, and maybe that was the culture shock. But for me, I was just absorbing it all in. I kind of love the culture and love just how kind of the life was out there. They call sabay sabay, sabay. Sabay. Everything's like relaxed, kind of. It was chill, and you just train, fight, and
I loved it. I noticed the gyms out there a little bit more outside, like kind of infused with nature. I know you see a lot of things on YouTube kicking down bamboo trees, but one of the things I do like is they don't run in an AC gym.
No,
like kind of like these old school garages. What I'm used to is, if it's hot, who cares?
Yeah.
You got some fans, you're lucky. But
yeah,
training in that environment, how different do you think? What kind of different element do you think that brings into a training camp, going against like the elements, like the heat, for example?
Yeah, I like it, and I prefer training in the heat. I can't. It's really difficult for me to train in a temperature control, like a cold AC room. Like it kind of. I never feel like I get warmed up enough, and I just feels cold in there. But in Thailand, most of them are all, they kind of call it a open air gym. They have walls, but it's like if we had a bunch of these garage doors all around us, just everything's open air. You're getting fresh air flowing in and out of there. And for me, that was like one of the best parts.
Right, just the fresh air.
The fresh air, yeah.
Fresh air. In terms of the different training styles, what was one of the things you had to get over training Muay Thai from your upbringing in LA to how they train in Thailand? What was that training difference like?
Luckily, training in LA, we kept it. It was pretty true to how they train in Thailand. So I was kind of used to it already. And we were kind of leading up to that trip going out there. We were getting, prepared for what to expect out there. So it wasn't too much of a shock. For us, it was just the volume of training was the hard part, because in the States, most people will come and train for an hour and go home, and if you're a competitor, you probably train longer than that. But for the most part, you're in the gym 2, 3, 4 days a week, train for an hour, take a class, take 2 classes, and you go home, but over there, you're immersed in Muay Thai. You're waking up, eat, sleep, breathe, shit, Muay Thai all day, every day. And that's it. Because, you have options. You could stay outside of the gym at certain places. But my experience there was I lived in the gym. I stayed in the gym. So you'd wake up, you go run, you come back, you start your training, you warm up, jump rope, whatever, shadow box, hit the bags, hit the pads. You finish training. Now you're going shower, clean up. Now food's ready already. You don't have to go, okay, what am I going to eat today? Food's ready. You just eat, whatever they made, you eat, and then you rest, hang out a little bit with the other people there, and then 3:30 you wake up and go again. Just go on a shorter run, train. Now, after training's done, you have dinner, You don't have to worry about what we're gonna have for dinner. You don't have to. Oh, we didn't cook anything.
Mm.
You just
So,
eat. Yeah.
so the structure there is everything is tied around Muay Thai and your training. Like
Yeah.
that's the routine.
Yeah.
Get your training, nutrition, rest, hit it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, because I've noticed out there in Thailand, they have even little kids fighting, like
Yeah.
like just the gloves, no padding.
No.
There may be some padding in some leagues, but I know for the most part, everything's just full contact. Like
Yeah.
even for the little kids.
Yeah. Nowadays, there's more like amateur circuits in Thailand
Mm.
because Muay Thai's even growing a lot more.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But traditionally, kids were fighting since 6, 7, 8 years old. They're in there with no pads. But it's the economy of Muay Thai is different out there. So they're fighting professionally at a young age since they're fighting for money. They're not fighting for
survival in others.
Yeah.
In essence, yeah.
they're not necessarily fighting because this is gonna like boost my ego up. I'm gonna feel great, maybe get some girls. No, they're fighting because they're gonna make money and they're gonna help support their family. A lot of these guys come from very poor backgrounds, and they might not have another means, so they rely on that. They rely on fighting, and then some of them drop out after a few fights. Some of them keep going and become big names, like we watch and we bring for seminars and all that.
Yeah. I heard. What's the seminar coming up?
We have the Yokkao seminar coming up, and that's going to be headlined with Sanchai, who's the biggest name in Muay Thai.
Exactly. Right.
Right now, and he has been for a long time. And then they're bringing the team of all the other Yokkao superstars with them too.
And they're coming to Austin, Texas, correct?
They're coming here to our gym, September 10th.
Okay, and what's just for everybody listening right now? What's the location of the gym, just in case, just to give some details? Of
The
event?
address?
Mhm.
It's 12701 Loden Lane, Suite 201.
Okay, so it sounds like you had an immense amount of difference in training in Thailand, coming back now to the U.S. I wanted to ask you what this gym. My friend told me about this gym, and I wanted to come check it out. And even when I stepped in here, I got a full Muay Thai traditional like energy in here, from the teeps to the bag works to the knees. And at least from my background and my training, I've never experienced actual traditional Muay Thai training with just knees, elbows, pad work, more kicks. I come from MMA gym. So when it's striking time, I'm happy. When it's grappling, I'm like, yeah. So I wanted to ask, in terms of the gym, how long has the gym been here, and where do you see yourself in the gym in the next 5 years?
Sure. Number one, I'm happy to hear your experience coming to the gym and getting that feeling of a traditional Muay Thai gym. For me, I don't know anything else. That's what I know. That's what I've experienced in my training in LA and in my training in Thailand. So I try to just bring what I know and give that 100%. Your other question was what? I'm sorry.
Just how long has the gym been here?
Yeah.
And like, what are some major obstacles that you've overcome as a business owner and as a coach since with this gym?
So we've been in this location coming up on 2 years. In a couple months, it'll be 2 years in this location. Prior to that, I was subleasing some small space in a karate school and teaching my program out of there. Prior to that, I had another facility, not as big as this one, but similar into the type of building it was. But I've been working for other gyms for a long time, and it got to a point in 2019, end of 2019, where I kind of got tired of working for other people, and I wanted to do my own thing.
Fair.
The gym I was working at changed owners, and they kind of just let me go, basically. And at that point, I was done working for somebody. I wanted to finally just have my own gym, which was what I wanted to do since I was a kid. So just end of 2019, I decided, all right, I'm going to open up my own gym. Found a spot. Took a couple months, and then signed the lease to get the keys and everything and start March 1st, 2020.
That's when this location started.
That's when we opened Warrior Family Gym. But as you know, 2 weeks later, yeah, we got the uppercut from hell from the COVID lockdowns and all that.
Oh yeah.
Long story short, the financially I wasn't prepared for that, and by September I had to shut those doors. I have a great team behind me, and some of my coaches who stuck around. I had to move back to California for a short period of time.
Okay.
To be with my family, and had my guys stay behind. My guys, I subleased that little karate school, and I had one of my guys running the classes there, and kind of benefited them because now they still have a place to train together, and then they were able to kind of keep the classes going while I was managing everything online. Okay. So like scheduling appointments and all that, I was doing all remotely from California. And the classes grew. One of my coaches, Oscar, he killed it. Great coach. I would book the trial students to come to class. He would teach them a kick-ass class. They would sign up. So the program was growing. And it grew to the point where he called me. He's like, Coach, I'm having a hard time because now we got people who've been here for a while, and we've got like day one people. I'm having a hard time kind of running a class. And we're having 20, 25 people in a class, which for the space we had was huge. And I was like, man, I think it's time for me to come back, So a few months later, I ended up coming back to Austin, and then now me and Oscar were running classes together. So we would split up the groups. Mm-hmm. And we'd have the beginners go with one coach and the more advanced go with another coach. So now we're able to manage those students. And then after about a year total of being in that sublease space, we found this spot and moved here and been growing ever since.
Yeah, this is a really nice space. I love the ring in the middle. Yeah. You kind of answered a question I was going to ask you today. Are you looking to host any fights here? Because, you already have the location. Yeah. And I heard what you said about having the referees and, they're going to be certified from the state. So I think that's a really good avenue on how to create versatility with the space that you have here, business wise. Yeah,
the setup was meant to be able to host some fights here. I'd really love to do that. I've been so busy running the business and just teaching the classes and doing all that to focus on that. But now it's getting to the pieces of the puzzle are lining up to where.
Gotta love that, right?
Yeah. So I could see it happening. We might host one event at the end of this year, but next year for sure. In 2024, for sure, we'll have an event.
And are you looking to have sanctioned fights or kind of like smokers to kind of get your
We'll start
fighters?
with smokers. Okay. Yeah, sanctioned fights. Now we got to, is a little bit more involved with the state and all that. But, yeah, definitely. I'm into it just step by step.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I wanted to ask one more question because I know I didn't want to take up too much of your time. So how long, give or take, have you been actually coaching?
So I've been coaching alongside my training for as long as I've pretty much been in martial arts, because I started as a teenager doing Hapkido. When I was a little kid, I started in Hapkido. Okay. And Muay Thai was always something I wanted to do, but my mom said it was too dangerous because she would, I would watch the Van Damme movies, Kickboxer and
badass movies,
Bloodsport. And when she would see those movies, she's like, "That's what you want to do?" No, she didn't want me going and fighting Tong Po, I guess,
They're built different out there.
But I had a cousin, I had a family friend who was doing Hapkido, and she's like, "Why don't you go do this with him?" And I'm like, okay. So I went and tried it, and I liked it. I really like a lot of martial arts. I kind of find value in a lot of different martial arts.
Is Hapkido, is that the one with Steven Seagal?
No.
What is that one? Is that Aikido?
Aikido, yeah.
Aikido, yeah.
Yeah. But Hapkido was cool. As a kid, I think it gave me a good base. And then as I got older, I found Muay Thai and found a spot and started training and just kind of started doing that 100%.
Awesome. So it sounds like you got a lot of experience coaching, a lot of devotion and love for the sport. I wanted to ask, as a takeaway, what's something from your coaching, or what's a piece of your coaching that you would really like to instill in any one of your athletes, whether it be in the gym or outside the gym?
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
Like, what do you mean?
but like case in point, I know growing up, my soccer coach was really positive male role really positive male role model for me growing up. Uh, but even though he was my soccer coach, he was giving us advice and tips as young men that we can do to be better overall individuals. So if it's something as simple as, you know, don't cheat yourself, go through the line. You know, if you got to do 10 push-ups, don't do 9, do 10. You know, so kind of things like that, where it's whether you're successful in the sport or not, I want you to be successful out there as a, you know, as a man, as a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
Have some integrity, have you know, have a pretty well aligned moral compass.
I got you.
Yeah.
That I believe in that too. And kind of dig into a little bit of our core values. Integrity, hard work, and family is kind of what I base everything around. So yeah, in everything we do, I want to lead by example by having integrity, working hard, having that family environment in here. And then I want my students, you know, inside and outside of the gym to carry that integrity with them in everything they do, the being positive, working hard, whether it's in the gym or out of the gym. And then just knowing that this is it's a family environment. We're not egos and stuff like that don't last too long here. Not because like we beat them up and they leave. It's not. It's
no room for it here.
There's no room for it here. And everyone here is here to help each other. No matter if you've never trained before, you're not athletic, you know, you've never thrown a punch before or a kick before, or if you have and you've trained in Thailand before and you've, you know, had fights and all that, you belong here. And as long as you're cool and you're cool with, you know, helping everybody out and being in a positive family environment, I think that's what I want to instill in everybody: the integrity, hard work, and family.
Integrity, hard work. That's beautiful, Coach. Last question for me, just something personality wise. What's one thing that makes you happy?
Spending time with my daughter, playing music, riding my bike.
What kind of bike you got?
Have a 2018 Harley Fat Bob.
Oh, this is a motorcycle bike. Oh, I'm thinking bicycle.
No, not a bicycle.
Okay. I think I seen you riding it the other day.
Yeah.
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 It's you're not into dirt bikes or four wheelers and none of those kind of motorized vehicles, right?
I haven't been, but I would love to get a dirt bike one day. And before I had my Harley, I had I had kind of like one of those bikes that you can go on and off road, and I just never had the time to take it off road. So I do want to go off roading. I'd love that. I just haven't had the time to get into it. I've been busy with this all the time.
Hopefully when all this straightens out, you'll have time to go mudding or something with a nice four-wheeler. Yeah, I'm from East Texas, so I like mudding, going in.
I want to get into all that.
Yeah. Dirt bike falling off.
I took
all those other things.
We went out to Utah one year. It was for my daughter's birthday. We rented one of those side-by-sides, and we were out in like the Utah desert just riding around, and it was like we had such a blast. And I remember I took a 360 video, and you don't see anybody. Like as far as the horizon you could see out, there's no, and it was just so calming. It was quiet, and it was just really cool. So like, I want to do this more, but we can't really do that out here in Texas.
Well, hopefully next time I see you, brother, you can tell me some stories about the progress of the gym. Hopefully a dirt bike you're looking into to getting. But yeah, I appreciate your time, Coach Alex.
Thank you, man.
Beautiful message, beautiful gym, and I look forward to hearing more of the success of Warrior Family Muay Thai.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.